Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, interesting spaces last night from Ryan Garcia. He continues to be, I guess, controversial, if you will, with some of the comments and statements that he's made in regards to a number of different topics. Now, last night he made a comment in regards to Errol Spence, and I want to play this quick statement that he made, this quick clip from the spaces that he did last night. And I know a lot of these comments are just made in order to help promote his fight, but still, it's a interesting comment. So let me go ahead and play this very quickly, and then I want to react to it.
Yo, what's Earl been up to, man?
Fuck Errol.
What?
Yeah, fuck Errol.
Oh yeah, he ain't with Derrick James no more.
Yeah,
I forgot.
exactly. You ain't Derrick James. Fuck you, motherfucker. You folded. You didn't want to pay him some money. That's fucked up. It's all business, but still, at the end of the day, some fucked shit up. How I pay him more on a fight I made less? The fuck? Come on, motherfucker. Fucking. Bro, and he been with you your whole career. Fuck is wrong with you? How I pay Derrick more on a fight I made less? Pedro, let him know.
So what was the split all about? Like it was just about money?
What else is it gonna be about, bro? About business.
I mean, it wasn't Derrick's fault what happened that night, man. Earl looked like he was
Bro, Arrow was high
like
as fuck.
he
That's
was like
normal.
he looked like he was high.
Dog, the motherfucker couldn't even form a sentence. The fuck?
So those are the comments from Ryan Garcia. Now, found those comments to be generally interesting for a number of reasons. Let's start off with the whole situation with Derrick James. How is it possible that he paid Derrick James more in a fight that he made less versus Errol Spence? I don't. Let's think about this, right? I don't know the circumstances of the contract, and to be quite honest, if Ryan Garcia knows the circumstances of the contract between himself and Derrick James and Errol Spence, then he's getting that information from Derrick James, and Derrick James is being messy. If that is the case, because Ryan shouldn't know that, right? From my understanding, there's a standard percentage associated with a trainer, and you should be getting the percentage of the purse associated with the fighter. That's how it should work, right? Now, how that split, I don't know if it's his guarantee or the back end pay-per-view, whatever, but that's all negotiated up front. That's how it works. So if Derrick James is owed some money that he didn't get paid, he is well within his right to take Errol Spence to court and get that money. If Derrick James is not taking Errol Spence to court, that means he got paid based off the agreement that he had in his contract, which means he should not be getting paid more. Now, if he's coming back subsequent to that and he wants more money, then that wasn't a part of their original agreement, and you're not owed any more money. And if they're going back and forth because of that, then that wasn't a part of your original agreement, and you're now trying to renegotiate. And that's just that's a difference in opinion. That's a difference in how they see each other. Like, he feels that he's worth more and he needs to renegotiate, and that's fine. But that wasn't the basis of your original agreement, right? Now, he also mentions, and this is where I feel Ryan is being reckless, right? He mentions that Errol was high. He didn't say he looked high. He didn't say he seemed high. Because when you say things like that, you're suggesting that it appeared that way. He looked that way. He said he was high, as though he knew for a fact that he was under the influence, right? Under the influence means you're either under the influence of drugs or you're under the influence of alcohol. That's a reckless statement, dog. That's a reckless statement. what Errol appeared to be during that call. Now I remember that fight, and I remember specifically I actually walked out during the fight party that we were having because I had to get my kids to bed. So I didn't see the pre-fight interview with Errol, but everybody talked about how he looked when he interviewed prior to the fight, how he looked as he walked down to the ring. I didn't see any of that. By the time I got back into the to sit down to watch the fight, I think it was maybe like 40 seconds left in the first round. So I didn't see all that. So we understand how Spence looked. However, to say that he was high doesn't really make sense to me, right? You don't make that type of statement if you're Ryan Garcia. That's a very reckless statement. So we know that Ryan Garcia has had issues with his own trainers in the past, right? He was with Eddie Reynoso. He was with Goose, and they had challenges. Now, what those challenges were, I'm not 100% sure what they were. I don't know if they were disputes over money. I don't know if they were disputes over how he was training. Goosen made a comment that essentially, Ryan Garcia, you're there, it's like a partnership, right? It's not like a trainer-fighter relationship. It's like a partnership, which suggests that Ryan is difficult to work with. And if that's the case, then there's people that could be very critical of you as well. Derrick James being your third trainer, right? And not only that, based on your performance next week on 420, we may see you have a different tone versus or a different tone relative to Derrick James. I want to see and hear how you react when people bring up Derrick James's name after your fight versus Devin Haney next weekend, because you may be singing a different tune next weekend, because we've seen you sing different tunes as it relates to your trainers after fights, specifically after fights may have not gone as well, right? So I would be mindful of that if I am Ryan Garcia, not to create enemies out of fighters because they choose to move on from a trainer when you don't know the circumstances, the dynamics of their relationship, and you don't know all the contract terms and everything that occurred during that time. You may know a piece of it, and you may know that piece only from the lens of Derrick James, and in reality, you shouldn't even know that, because that would be messy for Derrick James to do. Not saying he did it. I hope he didn't do it, but if he did, that's messy, and you shouldn't even know that information. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Interesting stuff here. Interesting things that were said from Ryan Garcia. He got a fight here in a week. I think he's still trying to hype that fight up by any means necessary, and this is probably a part of that. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast and Sports Media, and I am out.